vbyte is a virtual byte because the way that the block is created, you have all these transactions, and then they get smushed by the cryptography. So it's a representation of a byte by this virtual byte. So that's why we say sats per vbyte. So let's say that the transaction before SegWit was 100 bytes. And so you were going to pay, if it was 1 sat per vbyte, you were paying 100 sats to pay for that transaction to go. But SegWit made it so you could have a portion of the transaction that is cheaper, and it's cheaper by a fourth, by a lot.
Okay.
So it's cheaper by not a fourth, it's a fourth as cheap. So 75% cheaper to have it in the Segregated Witness portion. So you can plug your data in there, and now, hey, I want to put a picture of my baby, of
on the block forever, right?
Yeah, like whatever. You want to put your picture in there, and now you're paying less than if you had it as part of the normal transaction data.
Okay.
And so that allowed people to use ordinals at a lower fee. You already could have done this. You already could have put stuff on the blockchain, and we see that with like inscriptions in the past, or not inscription wasn't the word we used. The rare pepes or anything else that was like stuck, like I love so and so, or I got married on this day, like any other data. People paid the same rate as any other bit of a transaction until Segregated Witness, the SegWit happened. So now it kind of unlocked cheaper nonsense, or like non-standard transactions. That's not the right word either, not standard, but non-monetary transactions.
Yeah, it kind of just drew a line in the sand, like this side is monetary and this side is not. And the not monetary side got 75% cheaper. Is that my correct?
But still you can't have the whole transaction as the non-monetary bit. It's still, you still have to have some portion of it that is the traditional transaction. So it's just but that definitely allows you to get cheaper data stuffed into the blockchain.
Okay.
But there's still a 4 megabyte per block cap. And so the blocks aren't getting any bigger. They're just having some non-transaction data in them. But that's not, like, it's not only JPEGs that are being stuck on the chain. People put music on there. People put contracts on there. People are making new layer 2s and like BitVM, right? So they're plugging data into the blockchain that is not necessarily only spam. And then we come to, well, what is spam? Well, spam is like, who knows what spam is, right?
Yeah,
like
it's a subjective moving target, right?
Right. So it's like, well, you don't like, well, I don't like what you're doing. Like, well, okay, you don't have to like what I'm doing, but also I paid for what I'm doing, right? I followed the rules. I put this data out there, and then some miner picked it up and stuffed it into a block, right?
Yeah.
Because the miner wanted the money, the sats that I paid. So, people saying that, in my opinion, like most of this is, well, I don't want there to be spam on the blockchain, but spam's arbitrary. And so we don't have someone as the arbiter of truth saying, hey, well, you can't do this thing. There's no ruler, right? there's no CEO of Bitcoin saying, no, you can't do that thing.
Yeah.
So because there's no ruler, because there's no way to stop this, because these transactions are allowed, it doesn't really matter what Knots wants to do, unless they fork the chain and make their own chain, that's fraught with peril, right? Like that's what happened with Bcash or BSV or some other trash tokens that have happened along the way. Like they forked off and it didn't work. So I think that there's a lot of people that are very passionate about Bitcoin. They think it's super important. I do too. And they want to protect it at all costs. Like, this is how I'm going to protect it. I'm going to defend it from the bad transactions that I don't like getting on there. Well, like, but you can't. Like, what you're doing isn't you're not accomplishing that. You're just saying that's what you want. And that's cool. If that's what you want to do, like, you can say that. Like, you're certainly allowed to say that. But you're not going to get where you want to go doing this thing.